A number of incidents have been registered in the course of the ongoing Kawempe North by-election related activities. And these involve, among others, skirmishes between NUP supporters and security forces, as a result of which 24 people are arrested and put in custody. And those arrested include 2 honorable members of this House, namely Honorable Nyeko and Hon Nkunyinji. The details of the particulars of those in custody are attached to this brief. The action taken so far: a case file was opened via Dwandege SDA Ref 63/3/2025. Statements recorded from all those in custody to enable the processing of their cases for court. Those arrested were presented in court and remanded on Tuesday, 4th March 2025. Right Honorable Speaker and members, government intends to ensure a clean, transparent, and safe by-election in Kawempe North constituency. Towards this end, the various players, including the EC, who organized this by-election, the contenders from the different parties and their supporters, the general public, as well as security, have to exercise their different roles, different but complementary roles within the confines of the law. Where we have infractions of the law, there are processes within the law on how to bring them to account, including guidelines on the lawful enforcement of the law. It is also the law, Right Honorable Speaker and members, that for one to be charged with a criminal offense, that offense and the punishment thereof must be expressly provided for in written law. Those arrested are accused of various breaches of the law, including the alleged illegal use of military gear by some of them. Charges known to the law will be preferred for the courts to determine their cases. In addition, working with the military and other security organs, it will be proposed to publish for information their gazetted uniforms, as well as other gear which are ordinarily the preserve of official uniformed forces. Also, working with the EC, guidance should be given to all the players regarding lawfully permissible conduct during this exercise. Last, rules of engagement and SOPs that guide the security forces in the conduct of public order management will be disseminated to the operating forces to enhance their awareness as they go about their duties. But also, unsaid is the background to this, and I think we need to ask the hard questions. We need to have a candid, brutal conversation on this idea of what is reasonable conduct, what is permissible conduct. I think we were all treated to that video that ran wild of people in military formations, and I knew it would attract consequences, both intended and unintended. So I think going forward, we may need to engage as security and all the players on how we go forward to ensure that we have credible electoral processes. Right Honorable Speaker and members, government commits to ensure a clean and safe electoral process in support of the EC. Those arrested will be presented in court, and any excesses reported, investigated and dealt with as appropriate. The journalist whose eye was injured, called Miracle in Nsambia Hospital, gladly he's been discharged, but I've been briefed by Honorable Bahati and I want to thank him for visiting him. We shall meet the bills of his treatment. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable members.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Bahati, you promised us. I've heard the minister said you visited, but I think we better hear from you because you have a date with the House on that issue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the Honorable Muhoozi has said, and as you instructed me, I visited the journalist called Miracle, who works with Stop TV. It is true he was injured, and there were some limited operations on his face. The good thing is that his eye, according to the doctor, was saved. He's out of danger as we speak, and he has been discharged yesterday. And on behalf of government, I promised that we are going to clear the bills. Also had a complaint that his camera was damaged, but in the meantime, we have agreed with the Minister of Internal Affairs that the bill will be cleared by government. So I extended our sympathies, and we continue to pray for him for quick recovery. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, no, Minister, I would have loved, for example, in the case of the journalist, you know, who was not part of people who made the parade and all that. I would have been glad to see a commitment of you investigating your officers coming out clearly. The way of investigating others has come out clearly. It would have been, it would give confidence to other people who might be caught up in that fracas when they are not involved. So I don't know specific on that, then I call up.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Yes, it's true. In all this, there are always innocent bystanders. If I can, I wouldn't want to infer the guilt of the others, but certainly we shall verify, even reaching out to the journalist and find out how he was injured, who was responsible, and then we take appropriate action.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Leader of Opposition, to begin with.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank the Minister of Internal Affairs for responding to the directives of the Speaker. First of all, Mr. Speaker, allow me to thank you, government, for responding to the injured person by meeting his bill. Although you wouldn't have met it if you had not caused injury to him. And it's not enough, but there are more than one who are under the same state. Mr. Speaker, I want to inform General Muhoozi, the Minister of Internal Affairs State, that yesterday, and as of now, there's a video running around. There's a Ugandan resembling one of the JAT, and people were almost going to kill him, thinking that the one was beating people in Kawempe. This is a common phenomenon in Africa. Sometimes some people say that I'm resembling also you yourself. And if you commit an offense, I might be the victim or you might be. But for you are lucky, you have safety with your security guards. This is the situation, Mr. Speaker, we are facing. But when we are here, the Minister for Trade, who was acting as government, leader of government business, denied knowing anybody who was beating people. The processes of bringing people to book, summoning them, is within the hands of government, not the opposition. If there is any offense committed by a national unity platform, at any cost, it's you to bring them to book. But here we are having soldiers beating civilians with no sufficient cause. There's a candidate in this race. They were saying we are going to cause traffic jam. He's moving with a wheel loader. But for him, it's safer than those walking on foot on the roads. How would we handle that? Mr. Speaker, sir, we should go, members of parliament, and I'm repeating this, because we are giving challenges to our speaker. And I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. You stated it here, that you are going to handle that matter. Members of parliament are summoned by, you summon them through the Speaker of Parliament. If I'm wearing an overall, which is red in color, but it's having national colors, what offense have I committed? I'm driving going to the rally where there is a new candidate or an NRM candidate, and you arrest members. Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, kindly. Even NRM, actually, parades are committed everywhere. You must communicate, and always directives come out, respect them. NRM is wearing its yellow overalls. It's also berets. Also, because you know what is sanctioned under the IPDF Act, which was brought back to Parliament as a trained soldier and a lawyer. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we need to come out. Why do you beat the press, the fourth arm? They are fully dressed in their attire, showing that they are working for maybe Mr. Baramuzi, Honorable Mr. Baramuzi radio. and others. I can take the information and I will conclude.
Sorry, colleagues, it's being worked on. Yeah, but we can continue.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Sewungu, for giving way. Right Honorable Speaker and members, when you see the events unfolding in the Kawempe North by-elections, it leaves all of us in a bad situation. Those involved in the election, and even those other citizens, particularly the responsible members of this society. Now, when the issue was put for government to come and clarify and explain, I'm surprised, deeply surprised, that the Honorable Minister has chosen to tell what everybody wishes to hear. He has told the intent of the law and the aspirations of Ugandans. But what is at stake now is that they are hoodlums. There is the JAT, which is responsible, the core mandate, to crack on terrorism. And now you have an official exercise, a campaign exercise announced, and the government chose to deploy the Joint Anti-Terrorism Force. Why? Because from the word go, we would start from there. Who deployed? Honorable Minister, you could tell the country who deployed and why. Because we should start from there. And it is not difficult to find out. Even if there was some conduct of members.
Honorable Sechkubo, that's not how we behave on the floor. Okay, you came for information, and I hope your time is up. I'm sorry. Honorable Susan Amero. No, you donated your time. Now you donate.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Amero.
Thank you, Speaker. I heard the minister talk about payment of treatment bills, but I didn't hear him talk about compensating the person who was harmed, because this is a breadwinner in his home. And there are so many people who depend on that person. So I wanted also that to come out clearly. But also, the other thing, Right Honorable Speaker, is for how long are the security forces going to take the law into their hands? And they go away, they walk out free. What are they supposed to be doing? If the police is to keep order, law and order, and then the police is using the gun, bat, and everything, including the knife in the gun, to point at this guy who is innocent, who has not been proven to be guilty, then what are we? I think something needs to be done, because currently the situation at hand is not good. We need to protect our people, and we need to do the things according to the laws that we are making. I beg to submit, Mr.
Thank you, Honorable Mede, and Honorable Chivadia, then Honorable Bigaro.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand to protest the manner in which security handles civilians in certain situations. Because I was a victim of that during elections. It doesn't matter what party you belong to, but it matters how the state security conducts themselves. I'm a mother. One time I was very pained. I almost shed tears seeing a small girl, these children of Makerere University, trying to protest, and a little girl howled behind a pickup. I wouldn't want my daughter to be treated like that. During the campaigns, it was like the state versus Ahmed. There was this colonel that was deployed in my constituency, and they were just all over intimidating people with the uniforms telling my supporters they are going to disappear. Please, in this century, as a politicians of my generation, we want fair competition, we want accountability of security. This is not fair. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, I know that incident that happened, but how is the situation now? Have we gotten other bad incidences? So why I'm raising this, I want us in our debate, if the situation now has calmed down, then we don't again put in fire. Honorable Chibadia?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
I have asked you, I don't know. So now, stop. You know, I've asked you in your submission, you should be the ones to tell us what's going on. I didn't tell you that the situation is like this. I asked you. Yes. Honorable Chibadia?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, every rightfully thinking Ugandan is asking, how did we reach here? How did we reach where we are? What has caused this, Right Honorable Speaker? Right Honorable Speaker, I remember at the beginning of this parliament, the speaker then, late Honorable Jacob Olanya, said that one day he would organize a day. We sit here and debate how we wish this country to move. Right Honorable Speaker, maybe one day you convene, either you take us in conference hall, in the compound, we debate. Right Honorable Speaker, it's ugly. Your question was, what is happening now? Is it any better? Right Honorable, yesterday they were showing where a lady was seated in a vehicle. Somebody jumped on the vehicle on top and pointed a gun at the lady in the car. The lady was saying, shoot. People were surrounding the car. Right Honorable, who is in charge of campaigns in this country? Campaigns are not going to the church to begin praying. And campaigns, everybody will be chanting, people will be moving, people will be singing. Who is in charge of campaigns, Right Honorable Speaker? A campaign period? And we behave like this? Honorable Minister, we want you to restore hope in Ugandans. Restore hope in Ugandans and say maybe it is regrettable, this was uncalled for, we are investigating, we are going to do something better. But according to your statement, it's as if everything is normal and what is going on is blessed because you blame the people who were arrested. You can't even tell us those who participated in beating. You beat a younger girl. You pull a younger girl on the road. Right, Honorable Speaker, it's very regrettable.
Now, I'll just first ask two people here before Honorable Rose. Honorable Minister, I understand the Electoral Commission, you had a meeting with the Electoral Commission. Oh yeah, security forces were, I would want to hear from you. I don't know whether it's you who attended or your people briefed you, because both sides were invited. So you don't have any information on that, on what you agreed? Okay.
I wasn't privy to that meeting, Right Honorable Speaker, but I'll find out.
Yeah. Because I saw the director of operations in that meeting. I saw in the media. Sorry? Okay. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I worked for Electoral Commission. And the law is clear. In such an operation, honestly, it's Electoral Commission to invite police, and if they are skeletal, maybe the army to support. But what is happening is like the minister slept on duty. Because if Electoral Commission had a meeting and he was not even in the meeting and he does not know anything, what hope can he give Ugandans? Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for giving room to debate this particular issue. This morning I was on talk show. Literally, NRM, if it will ever get any votes in Kawempe, I want to tell you, skeletal, the community is bleeding. Why have we decided to militarize something which is for civilians. What is your fear? Why have we decided to make election to appear as it's war? Do we want to take this country into anarchy? We have had enough. Innocent people are being beaten. Can you imagine? Media is the fourth estate. The fourth estate has lost an eye. We can happily sit here and say the treatment will be covered. Can you imagine? Really? Do you know what pain is in a person who has lost an eye? Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg you, the only hope remaining for our community, especially when it comes to Kawempe, is this house. Kindly put your feet on this matter. It must stop.
Thank you. Honorable Kro. Then Honorable Bashasha.
I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. And I want to add my voice. Right Honorable Speaker, fortunately, I live in an era where I saw anarchy during my early childhood. The memories of 1980s, 86 to 90, we have been victims. We have been IDPs. You go to Teso, you are terrorized by the illegal guns there, the wars there. But I'm surprised that in this day and era now, we thought we'd run to Kampala for refuge. But now the way things are being done, in broad daylight, it's not at night. Honorable colleagues, we are the voices of the people. And this, in its measure, I want to thank Right Honorable Speaker. All of us have got to stand together to condemn the actions. When the military spoke, the army, they said they don't know those people. You get it? Security agencies are disowning some of these people. By now, in a normal situation, those people should be behind bars. So I want to appeal to our forces, particularly police, Honorable Minister. The JAT are people who fall within your docket. Kindly bring them to order. We want a fair ground for all of us. We are ready to win elections clean, but not through a brutalized way. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Shisha.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. When this similar incident happened in 2021, Mitoma lost 3 young men who were even not part of the group. 2 were hawkers of JAT. They were buried in Kabila. 1 was from Ijumo. It was during campaigns, and I was there to campaign. I was almost lynched when I mentioned the name. NRM, why they almost lynched me? Because they were bitter with NRM by that time. So I'm requesting that we put a stop on this. Because we are nearing the elections, what is going to happen when everyone is campaigning and nobody is even there to stand for any? Thank you so much. We need to put a stop on this.
Honorable Joyce Bagara, then Honorable Kasoro.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I'd like to appreciate the Minister for the statement, but I'm very disappointed, especially as a journalist. The rate at which journalists are being brutalized in circumstances like this is very alarming, and I'd like to say to this Parliament that Miracle is not the only journalist that has been injured in situations like this. And most of the time, the government will try to compensate or to buy a camera to replace it or to pay the bills. But what are the bills? What about other journalists? Because, Right Honorable Speaker, there are many other journalists that are being brutalized, that have been injured. Some of them will never be able to work again. There's been Twa Muchibi at NBS Television. There was Yuda Musisi, formerly of BBS. There is David Lubowa of Daily Monitor. There's Ali Mivule, who is formerly of NTV. There's Ashraf Kasirie, who everyone knows very well what happened to him. There's Joshua Mujunga, and the list goes on and on. And from my understanding, I think the government takes for granted journalists, because first of all, you know that the pay for journalists is very little. So when someone is injured and then you go there and then you're buying a new camera and then you're paying the bills, you think that is enough. I don't think it is enough. And secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, I heard the minister the other day saying, oh, they should be taken to court as individuals. But these people are in masks from head to toe. You cannot identify the person. So how do you go to court? How can they be accountable when you can't even identify them? It is very saddening, it is very heartbreaking, and I think the government should reflect on the things that you're doing. Even the people who didn't know about the brutality of this government are angry. Some people are not talking, but they're really boiling. And one day, Right Honorable Speaker, this whole bubble will burst. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Solo Kawempe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Then Honorable Ongisto.
I'm Solo, not Kasoro. So.
Yeah, so stop using that name in the corridor then. Honorable Soro.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, many times the NRM government says that the opposition are spoiling the image of this country. And they say that we have made a very big part in scaring tourists and other people to come to this country. Yes. But Right Honorable Speaker, when you look at what is happening in our country, what happened in Kawempe, you can say that actually the police or this government is its own opposition of its image. It attracts the world to see whatever is happening here. Right Honorable Speaker, I was a victim on Monday. What happened in Kawempe? The JAT people wanted to kick my private parts. It's only that I had the background of the ghetto in Ibuaise. If I didn't have tactics, it would be another story as it is now. When you look at the clothes I used that day and you look at them, you can't believe that it's a member of parliament that was harassed the way it was. The ladies were in a court on Tuesday with Honorable Nsambo Shabe. When you look at the way the ladies were beaten, others lost their backs. Yes, they did. Others, when you look at their faces, they were brutally brutalized. Why are we doing this? The kidnaps going on as we speak now, Right Honorable Speaker. An American citizen called Charles Bukenya Mubawara, the Vice President for UNA, was kidnapped on Tuesday night in Nakulabi. We don't know where he is. This country is experiencing many people leaving to go and seek asylum in other countries because of the way the security agencies are handling. We ask who is ordering, who is taking over, but we have seen streets of the CDF saying, I'm going to crush these new people. We condemn that. This is our country. We are born in Uganda, we stay in Uganda.
Thank you. Honorable members in the public gallery this afternoon, we have students and teachers of Kabo Seed Secondary School from Mubende District, represented in Parliament by Honorable Kabanda David and Honorable Nakazibwe